is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked. And before we get started, I just have to say something. Something happened to me today.
What happened?
This morning when I was getting us coffee, I got my cups and it was Christmas themed.
No.
It is November 1st. It is not time for Christmas themed shit.
Yeah, why not pumpkin themed?
Still, yes, or turkey themed until like November. Give it a few weeks. Just a couple weeks. Spooky season can't be over already.
I mean, it's not over for us.
No.
We're still living spooky season.
I think that my soul always lives in spooky season. I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, I swear, like, spooky season should be, like, September, like, let's say, 5th until November 15th.
Yeah.
Then we go into, like, this weird fall transitional season from, like, November, like, 15th to, like, December 1st.
Yeah.
And then we go into, like, full Christmas. And I think that we should also move Christmas. Christmas should not be December 25th.
Why not?
Because it's only 3 weeks for Christmas decorations. So I think that Christmas should be at the mid to end of January. That way you can have a full, like, 6 weeks of Christmas decorations. Then you have Christmas, and then you wind down from that just in time for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get into spring.
Yeah, I can
And
see that.
I think that we should petition to move Christmas. Yeah, we can move Jesus' birthday, right? They've already done it before.
I was gonna say, isn't there like a conspiracy that's not even the right date?
There is, because it would be in August because of the lambs and everything that, like, the wildlife that was around, and for them to be able to be in a barn manger thing, they would have frozen their asses off. So they're saying that it had to have been like in August or something. But then also on the same flip side, global warming and global cooling and ice age and all of that stuff, like, wouldn't that have affected the weather anyways?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was summer then.
Like the Earth cycles are different.
Yeah, they're all worried about global warming and shit, and they're the same people that are like, the Earth is changing. Well, then it could have changed then as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I wasn't in Jerusalem or Bethlehem in 2,000 years ago, so I'm not sure what the weather was like. In fact, I've never been there in my life, so I don't even know what the weather's like right now.
I think it's like warm now, isn't it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because it's deserty. Oh, no, so it's probably cold.
I don't know. I know that, but I also know that in Australia it's opposite. So, like, their Santa Claus is, like, surfing and shit because it's not snowing in Australia. It's hot. They're swapped than us. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah. Anyways, so yesterday was Halloween, and what did you end up doing? Why wasn't Isla didn't stay with you last night? Where was she?
So she decided she wanted to go trick-or-treating with her sister.
Oh.
And then she was going to be a skeleton.
Oh.
And she forgot her costume, so I had to bring it.
Of course.
And it was just her Lululemon jacket and her leggings. Because she's just going to, like, paint her face, you know?
Oh my gosh.
But then I talked to her later, and she's like, oh, I ended up just passing out candy.
Oh my gosh. So you drove all the way over there.
Well, I picked up Finley from school anyway. Okay. Yeah. And then Finley, he didn't want to do anything. He wasn't really feeling great. We stayed home, and we were going to pass out candy, but we didn't really get any trick-or-treaters. We got 0.
Yeah.
So we have lots of candy for ourselves now. And he's homesick. So it was kind of uneventful.
Yeah. We went trick-or-treating last night from like 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock because my kids are still like little. So we went during the day. They got so much candy, and I don't know what to do with it all. I think that maybe we should be able to donate it somewhere to kids in need or something.
Okay, so I'll tell you
they
one
should
thing.
have something. What?
When I worked at a dental office, a pediatric dental office, and a lot of dentists do this, you can turn your candy into the dentist, And then when you turn it in, for every pound, they give you like, he used to give out like raffle tickets. Like, because they give away movie tickets and stuff at the office. So, like, for every pound, you'd get, like, a raffle ticket. And then they'd do a raffle, and then you could win, like, a prize. Yeah. But some dentists would actually give you, like, money.
Oh, my God.
Or they would give you, like, extra stuff from the office, like the little treasure box.
Yeah.
So, you might want to think about going to the dentist and see if they have some kind of
candy disposal. Well, recycle department.
The funny thing is you know what we did with the candy? It's, the staff would just eat it. Bring us your candy so we don't have to go trick-or-treating.
So we were Super Mario Brothers this year. And so Max was Luigi because he's taller. Cody was Mario. And I was Princess Peach, and I got a quinceañera dress. It was so pretty, and it was like, I make my own costumes. I don't like to do store-bought, so I just like put them together myself. And my husband was Bowser, and little Jakey was Bowser Jr., and the dog was Yoshi.
And I have to say that I saw the costume. She actually sewed the costumes for the kids and stuff. And they looked amazing. You did a really good job. It looked like it was like store-bought, but better.
Really? Like, I thought it looked like a 5-year-old took some hot glue and like patched it together.
No, you have a good sewing skill. Yeah.
Thank you.
You have really good sewing skill.
Yeah, so I did that. Halloween's the one thing for like costumes and stuff. I always like go all out. I probably do it way too much. But we also went to the desert and did trick-or-treating there, and they have like a little festival fair thing for the kids. So we got to do that, and the kids won won awards for the best costume. So they won the costume contest. So.
And that's the costumes that you sewed. So that is more validation right there.
There you go. Super fun. So in celebration of Halloween, I decided to unlock the origin of trick-or-treating and how it started. So let's get going with our trick-or-treating.
And I convinced you to dress up.
Yes, because I was so done. My princess dress is a real quinceañera dress. So it's like this big, poofy, real dress with where you have to have somebody tie it together in the back. It actually took 2 people to tie it together and stuff. So I'm like, I didn't want to wear that right now. So we would have spent like an hour trying to get me back in that thing.
No, yeah.
But so I'm dressed up just for fun, not for real life right now.
This is real life.
I meant not for real like Halloween. This is just my fun. I've had this mask for like I got it at a pumpkin festival thing. And like 10 years ago. And I've had it. I've never worn it. This is the first time I've worn it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just saw it and I love it. And I always wanted to wear it somewhere. But I never had any place to wear it. So it just like hung up in my room forever.
It's really pretty. Like on camera, I don't know
it probably just looks like a Batman thing. But it's not. It's like very intricate. And like it's super cute. And it would be perfect for like a ball gown type thing.
Mm-hmm.
A real masquerade party.
It's giving Eyes Wide Open.
I've never seen that movie. Is that a movie?
Yeah, this is kind of giving Eyes Wide Open too.
Yeah, so Heather's in like a Dr. Death mask thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's very fun. So, anyways, back to trick-or-treating origin story. So, a lot of like legends and stories and myths and religious beliefs, demonic beliefs, and everything in between have been like tied to Halloween and like the origin of Halloween. But for this episode, we're not gonna like focus on that. We're gonna focus on how trick-or-treating specifically started and like why people trick-or-treat. So first off, like I do go into the origin of Halloween a little bit, but like I promise it's not gonna be too much. Apparently, there was a Christian Celtic festival that would occur on October 31st called Samhain, which was celebrated in present-day Ireland and Scotland. And this is like 1,000 years ago. And this is much like every other Halloween story. The time that when the dead returns to earth and people had bonfires and they would offer sacrifices and gifts for the dead. So it's so interesting how every religion and every part of the world celebrates Halloween in some sort of like way, whether it's All Saints Day or the Day of the Dead or whatever it may be. On October 31st through November 1st, like the dead can walk among us. And that's the root to every, no matter what religion, what anything, that's the same across the board. So there has to be some sort of truth in that or something, because everybody celebrates it the same way.
Yeah, and some people, they create altars for their loved ones.
Yeah, ofrendas. Yeah, we saw some ofrendas last night. And that way they can come back. Anyways, so back then, some people would dress in animal skins to drive away phantom spirits. So that is why they started like dressing up, was to like drive away and scare the spirits. There was a large buffet style table that people would leave food at as well in order to appease the unwelcome spirits. Almost like here you go, unwanted spirit that that will try and kill me. You can have this while I give the good shit to my dead relatives. Like, here, take this.
Yeah.
And don't bother us. And then
Yeah.
And this other stuff is for my family. So then this would evolve into dressing as ghosts, demons, and other scary shit, and performing a trick in exchange for food or drinks.
A trick?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So people would perform tricks to get food.
Like a jester?
Yeah, almost, but like only for like Halloween night.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. I never heard that.
Yeah, and I'll get more into it in a little bit, but in 980, Christianity spread into the Celtic area, and there they blended their beliefs, and in 1000 AD, Pope Gregory III started the Catholic holiday All Saints Day, the day after Halloween, which is November 1st, as their way of honoring the dead. Pretty much like October 31st and November 1st were identical. They had the bonfire, the feast, the sacrifices, the offerings, for the dead that could walk among us. Poor people would go to wealthy families and get quote unquote soul cakes.
Oh.
Okay. And this was just like bread that the poor people would take, and they would promise the wealthy families that they would pray for the souls of their dead ancestors.
In exchange
for the soul cake.
Because they were just hungry. So
yeah.
We'll pray for you.
Exactly. And so this is also known as quote unquote souling.
Oh.
So, and you know that the only reason why they did that was to get like the free food, because they were poor and they were like, here, let's go do some souling.
Yeah, so it's an exchange.
Yeah. So this would soon lead to children doing it, and probably because people would be less likely to say no to poor begging children, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how children got involved in souling, which is really close to trick-or-treating at this point.
So that's the start of it, was just because you were probably hungry.
Yeah. So soon in Scotland and Ireland, souling would evolve into children dressing up in costumes and disguises, which was known as guising.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's making sense. Yeah.
Guising, yeah.
And would sing a song, recite a poem, or do some other trick to receive their treat.
And they do that already, because a little
trick or treat.
Yeah. Or remember, trick or treat.
Smell my feet, give me something good to eat. So I was trying to get the kids to say that. I'm such a horrible mom. Like days ago, I was like, trick or treat, smell my feet. And I was doing that, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, last night, Cody told that to somebody. He's all, trick or treat, smell my feet. And I'm like, oh my God. You wouldn't remember it days ago when we're having fun, but now to like real people, you're doing this.
But that's like a kid thing. That's
super
like,
cute.
Yeah.
So back then in Scotland and Ireland, the kids that would recite the poems or do whatever trick to receive the treats, it wasn't candy. It wasn't candy or junk or toys or crap. It was like substantial necessities such as fruit, nuts, or coins. So like things they needed because they didn't have money, or like they were poor people. You know?
So they actually got things that were useful.
Yeah. So, what was interesting is yesterday morning, Max and Cody were asking me like why they had to dress up to get candy, and why couldn't like just anyone go trick or treating without a costume, and I told them that they had to trick people into believing they were Mario and Luigi to get their treat.
Because it's trick or treat.
Yeah, I swear to God, the shit that I make up and like I just come up with on the fly, like these kids are either gonna like grow up and think I was like the best mom ever and their childhood was fucking magical and amazing, or they're gonna think that I'm the biggest fucking liar in the world because I do it so well. Like the shit that I come up with on the fly is like amazing.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. But you are, in a sense, like it is like a little trick. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're tricking them into what?
Or trick or treat trick like the that they had to do stuff.
Yeah.
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 I just got that.
Oh my God.
With the trick or treat.
Yeah.
Like an actual trick. Like I can do
I can do a handstand or whatever.
Somersault or something else.
Here's my trick. So at this point, Scotland and Ireland were pretty well established with the whole like trick-or-treating thing. From 1845 to 1852, there was a massive potato famine. Which, if you know anything about the Irish and the Scots,
potatoes.
They love their potatoes. Plain ass potatoes. We're not talking like chives and butter and salt and garlic and pepper and cheese. We're talking like taste like dirt, dried out potatoes.
But they need those carbs to keep going if they don't have any other like food, you know?
I don't know, because they do it with every fucking meal, and it's like my mom would make potatoes, plain ass, dry ass potatoes with every fucking meal. Every meal. And it was like the worst, like, so plain. It was like eating dirt. And she'd be like, I come from a very bland country. And that just like in her DNA or something. Like, I don't know.
I mean, like, she would just boil them, she wouldn't mash them or anything?
She would mash them, and then she would add a little bit of pepper, a little bit of milk, and a little bit of butter. Like, you know how, like, when I do it, I put in, like, a fucking stick of butter, and, like, I put in so much shit, and that's why I put in so much shit, because I've seen the bad side of potatoes, and I've dreamed of the good side of potatoes. Yeah. And I put in garlic, and my mashed potatoes are so good. I'll put in, like, chives in them, bacon, sour cream, cheese, a stick of butter.
So you do, like, a twice-baked potato, mashed potato.
Yeah, I do it so good because I grew up with the plain-ass potatoes, and I know how potatoes can be.
Mm-hmm. My mom made a lot of potatoes, too, I think, but I wish she would do, like, roasts, you know, and have the potatoes in the roasts and stuff, so it would, like, get the flavor of, like, the meat and the juices.
So my mom would do her stew every so often like that, but every single night, no matter what we were having, other than spaghetti. If we had spaghetti, we wouldn't have potatoes, but every night was potatoes.
I like potatoes, but I mean, I can see you would get sick of them. And especially, were you allowed to add more salt or anything?
That's all I could add, because we didn't have garlic or anything in the house. I didn't even know what garlic salt was until I went to someone else's house when I was like 16.
So she just didn't like garlic and stuff, yeah.
Or salt or pepper or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I finally got to the point where I put on salt, but like I also didn't know, because I was little, so I didn't know like to like, oh, if I put it in a bowl and add some milk, it would be good, or butter. I didn't know any of that because I'm a child, you know, so all I had access to that I knew would be okay was salt. Mm-hmm. So then that became my salt addiction.
But salt does help the potatoes.
Yeah, it does. But, so...
If anybody has a recipe for potatoes, send it over. conspiracies@gmail.com.
So, moving forward now... So with the whole potato famine, the Irish and the Scots, like, lost their shit. They were like, we can't live like this. Mm-hmm. We need our fucking potatoes. Mm-hmm. So they migrated to America, and with them, they brought the trick-or-treating aspect of Halloween.
Oh.
So they brought it with them. And by the late 1800s, back in the UK, Halloween had become renamed Mischief Night, because rowdy teens would prank people and would demand treats from strangers, and like not in a nice way, like let's knock on your door and be like, hey, trick or treat, but like in here's a gun to your fucking head, I'm gonna throw a knife, or like fucking...
Oh, I was thinking like throwing eggs or toilet
paper.
No,
worse, like bad, like they were like, it was bad, like they were vandalizing
for candy.
Yeah, or like robbing for like anything, I guess. I mean, they weren't doing candy then. It wasn't candy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by the 1920s, this was also being done in America. And they would still be playing pranks and breaking stuff, vandalizing, and just being fucking dicks.
Mm-hmm.
By the late 20s and into the 30s, when the Great Depression hit, the pranks, stealing, looting, everything got so much worse on Halloween. It was unsafe to even do trick-or-treating. And this is most likely why they started, quote-unquote, community trick-or-treating. And it was just safer to have, like, communities involved in putting it on as opposed to just mass chaos. So it was like they started to, like, embrace it and just be like, okay, if we're gonna do this mischief night, or this, we're gonna try to get rid of the mischief and just do the trick-or-treating.
So that's why Halloween's kind of scary and spooky, because it literally was like a day of rampage. Like, it was just a day of...
Everybody ran rampant. Yeah. Chaotic and... Yeah. So then World War II hit, and there was a massive sugar famine, and families were put on sugar rations. Also, what came with World War II was, like, a lot of fucking. Like, people. There was nothing to do, nowhere to go.
Oh!
People were fucking.
People were
procreating.
Making love.
Yeah, and so this led to a baby boom, which is why we have, like, the term boomers now.
Yeah.
And those babies were born between 1946 and 1964, and they are now 59 to 77 years old. When all those babies were being born, and we were, like, coming out of the Depression, cities and suburbs were being built. Then the sugar rations were lifted, and trick-or-treating came back with a boom. Except now, it was not the necessities people were getting, like fruits and nuts and coins. It was fucking candy. Sugar was back, trick-or-treating was back, kids were outnumbering the adults, and candy companies were pushing for trick-or-treating to be mainly candy, so that they could finally turn a profit on their candy businesses. The first time trick-or-treating hit any media or publication was in 1951 when the Peanuts comic strip had Charlie Brown trick-or-treating.
Okay.
So it's like the actual term, like, trick-or-treating is fairly new, and the whole candy thing.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was so new.
Yeah, and then later in 1952, when Disney Studios created a cartoon of Donald Duck trick-or-treating with his nephews Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And the rest is history. Halloween is the second largest commercial holiday, and those candy companies make $3.1 billion in sales every year.
Wow, $3.1 billion in
just
candy
in candy,
sales?
and it's the second largest holiday.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? But, like, and I love Halloween, so I can see why. And then my reference really quick is History.com article, How Trick-or-Treating Became a Halloween Tradition, October 3rd, 2019.
Nice. Well, I didn't know any of that. I thought Halloween has just been what it is forever. Like, I thought maybe back in the old days, it was more like they would bake homemade cookies, like sweets or things like that.
Yeah.
And then they would pass them out, and then it turned into now, like, the commercial wrapped little candies, you know, that kids get now. But I thought that it had
always been
that way, but just in the sense maybe it was homemade baked goods, like you get a brownie or you get something.
Maybe it was like that. And I could picture that it being like that in the 50s, 60s, even though the candy companies were pushing for candy.
Yeah,
I could picture in the 50s, 60s, especially in the Midwest, it still being like baked goods, home goods, and stuff like that. I could picture that.
But I didn't know that it would be like for the poor people that they would get like an apple or some coins or something they actually, because they didn't have anything.
Yeah, so you're not going to waste money on like candy or whatever.
No, you're going to give them something that they can actually like sustain them. Like, here's a piece of fruit.
And here's a soul cake.
A soul cake, yeah. Which probably was sweet. I'm guessing maybe it was kind of sweet.
I don't know. But then the sugar ration, it's just like interesting that the sugar ration coincided with the baby boom, and all of a sudden there's all these kids.
But the sugar ration, that was because of the war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then also all these kids came about because of the war too. Because nobody was leaving their houses or doing anything.
Well, yeah, everybody's just
fucking
at home, snuggling up.
Just like COVID. I'm sure that there was a big boom in COVID babies.
Oh, yeah, because no one could leave their house.
And it was literally like you weren't by law allowed to leave your house.
Mm-hmm.
And all that people are doing is drinking at home. Like, alcohol sales went through the roof during COVID.
Remember that you could actually have alcohol delivered?
Yes, you could go and pick it up
At the bar.
And take it home.
It's
to
so
go, alcohol
weird.
to go.
I can't even believe they did that.
You can still do that.
Well, now it's stuck then, right?
Yeah.
So you could never do that before.
But you have to ask. They won't offer it. Like, before they were offering, like, hey, do you want a to-go cup? Now you have to ask for it. And I don't know, like, it's probably on a restaurant-to-restaurant
No, I did that at, like, Applebee's or something.
Recently?
Remember? Well,
no, yeah, you could do it.
Within the last year, yeah.
Yeah, I did it. So there's a restaurant that I go to a lot, and it was just like a month or two ago. They were like, here, do you want to go? And I was like, you can still do that? And they were like, yeah, but you have to ask now. We don't just, like, offer it up like they did before.
Yeah.
But they offered it to me because I'm me.
Well, I mean, I think the reason why I did it, too, is we had just gotten a refill, you know? And then it was, like, already time to go for whatever reason. And I was like, well, I can't drink this in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to take it with me where I'm going and just finish it there, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Yep. So, yeah, and so when people were, like, ravaging the shelves for, like, food and stuff, like, 2 months into it, I was, like, looking at the alcohol, and I'm like, this is going to be the next to go. We better start stocking up on this.
Yeah,
we're going to run out of alcohol. That's going to be way worse than the food.
People are going to have to, like, live in the same household with each other, like, actually be together.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can live with somebody but not see them often because of your work schedules or school schedules or children. Activities.
Yeah.
But now we're all in the same house together.
Stuck.
How are we going to do this?
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, well, that was my episode on trick-or-treating. So I hope that you guys liked it. And don't forget to
share, like, and subscribe. All of our social media is Conspiracies Unlocked.
And have a fabulous rest of your week. Bye.